Well, welcome to blog number 2. It's May 2021. Just thought I'd update on what's been happening. The old dolly here is in no man's land with nothing happening whatsoever, waiting on a welder, and I'm starting to get a bit frustrated with that because I need to get on with it. But on the bright side, the engine has come back. All the machining's been done, bored out, crankshaft grind and head rebuilt and all that stuff, so I can start assembling the engine and putting the gearbox on it and what have you. There's probably a few days work in just cleaning and locating all the other components, and I buggered up and didn't order some sprockets, so I need to order some timing chain sprockets. Nothing's happened on the TR7 and won't happen till this dolly's finished. And I haven't touched the old Blue Mark 1 at all. It's still as it was. There's some body work to do to it, but at the moment, and there's also an issue about registration. It's coming up for registration, and things have changed in the rego world, and I'll may need to pull the roll cage out of it, which goes against the grain, but I probably will have to do that. I have been out and I made another Malcolm film. It amuses me with these old farmer films that I make, and if you go to www.yellowduckmotorsport.com and click on links, you get a drop down menu and then click on Malcolm. You can watch some of those films. It's only me dressed as a farmer telling a silly story. Now, I used to write a whole script for these and try and memorise them, and these days all I need is an idea in my head, and in this case I had the idea of the farmer getting arrested for growing marijuana, and because they were sort of city coppers, they didn't know the difference between marijuana and stinking Roger. Now, stinking Roger's a weed that apparently looks like marijuana, and I just thought I could make something out of that. So that was the base idea. I had no script, and I stood in front of the camera and done a 10-minute talk about this. It's all rubbish, but it just amuses me that I can do that. And as it turned out, the first one was perfect, but a loud Harley Davidson motorbike went past where I was filming and made a lot of noise, so I had to do it again, and then a four-wheel drive went past, and in the end I had to do it 4 times, and all 4 were all usable except for the noise that ended up being made by a passing vehicle. So yeah, so all I need is that idea. Haven't done any other filming, and have done a couple of interviews, one with a TR7 V8 owner, rally car, and another one with a old sort of person, 93, who used to rally a 404 Peugeot, still has it. They were interesting interviews. They're on the internet as well. Go to the same website and just click on interviews, and yeah, and I think that's just about the end of this blog. I can't think of anything else of anything fascinating to say, so bye for now. Mighty Toyota's broken down, so I'm sitting on the side of the road, Newcastle area, a long way from home, waiting for the NRMA. One more thing that I forgot to mention. I broke down the other day. I was up in Newcastle for a car event, and I was filming that event, and then on my way home, about 5 k's from it, and the Toyota just stopped. Coasted to the side of the road and called the NRMA, and well, 3 hours later they showed up, and look, the Toyota is beyond me. These cars here, I'd be out under the bonnet and either find what's wrong, fix it, or find what's wrong and need a part that I haven't got and not be able to fix it. Well, the Toyota is a completely different animal. You open the bonnet and it's just all foreign to me. You know, and the guy arrived and he opened a sort of pipe up and turned it over, and petrol comes spurting out, so he eliminated petrol from the equation. And then he just poked and prodded at all the sort of wiring harness around the place. Now, if I thought about it and looked at it closely, I could have worked it out that you know, the main lead that comes from the distributor and plugs into a black box. I'm not sure that it still would have gelled that black box was a coil. You know, at any rate, that was one of the things he sort of just poked at, and then turned it over and the thing went. Now, it could have been anything, and it still could be anything, but I think it's a loose connection with this plug onto the coil. Now, I bought a new coil, I haven't fitted it yet, but I put a cable tie around this plug to make it a tight connection, and since then the car's been going. Having said that, I've owned this car for 5 years, and in that time it had, you know, it broke down once before, sort of. 2016, I think, when me and the dolly we were going to Coffs Harbour for a big rally, Sydney to Coffs Harbour thing, and me and my navigator went to get something to eat the night before the start at a takeaway sort of thing, and it wouldn't go when we came out. So we just got a taxi home and left it there, and then the next morning we went down with the intent of doing something about it and getting it to a mechanic, but I tried it and it went, and it's gone ever since for the last 5 years. So there could be some sort of hidden fault within the electrical system. I think it's unlikely to be the coil. It's a good chance it is this plug thing, but the plug's part of the wiring harness, and I can't buy a new plug near as I can tell. Maybe I'll take it to an auto electrician, I don't know, but it's going now. But anyway, it was a little bit of an adventure. So anyway, so bye again. And yet, one more thing that I forgot to talk about. I bought some new wheels for, well, what happened was when I put the disc brakes on the rear of this Dolomite, the original Dolomite wheels will no longer fit, and that didn't matter because I don't use them at all, I thought. And then part of the sort of pulling the boot apart, getting the fuel tank out and whatever, I realised the spare wheel is a standard Dolomite wheel. So I bought some more super light wheels, a mini light type imitation thing, and the company, as chance would have it, had got 2 wheels to sell to some other Triumph owner who didn't like them, and sent them back. So I ended up getting 2 wheels for the price of 1, which means the other one can go in the TR7 as a spare wheel because it's got the same wheels. But of course, when they make something in a modern day, they keep mucking around with it and changing it, so they're different. The knobbly bits are bigger, and there's no sort of ridge around the outside of the wheel. It's just, they're different. Yeah, they look like a mini light wheel, but when you put the 2 wheels together they look quite a bit different. But at the end of the day, it's going to be a spare wheel, and I'm not a great one for driving around on spare wheels. I get them fixed pretty well straight away. So oh well, that was another little adventure, and again for the 3rd time or 2nd time, whatever it is. Bye for now.